Alright, YouTube, it's time for another Silver Pill opinionated video. I hope you like my Stick, Sex, and Hammer impersonation. Love the guy. I was doing my thing on Minds.com. It was a somewhat entertaining social media platform. Run by the same guys who run WordPress, the PHP software that runs 33% of all websites on the internet today. Yeah. So you can trust these guys. I just use this as an advertising platform. Only just rarely do I come across something of substance on there. It's kind of like Facebook but for people who are slightly more worldly. Whether or not they're more intelligent than the average Facebook user is debatable, but they're more worldly all the same. And that's at least that's commendable. I came across this thing. I noticed this forehead. So I scrolled down a little further and Milton William Cooper, Bill Cooper, brilliant guy. He basically started I wouldn't say, it was Mae Brussell who started the conspiracy theory talk radio show, but Bill Cooper really brought it to the next level with the Hour of the Time, and he predicted 9/11 in February of 2001. Alex Jones immediately snapped that up and then basically rebroadcast the prediction in March. And from then on, because Bill Cooper was murdered by the local sheriff, unlawfully shot dead on his front porch, Alex Jones became known as the grandfather of the 9/11 truth movement. His own words, by the way, that's what he called himself. But effectively, since, the conspiracy theory movement, I'm sorry to say, is mostly full of fucking morons, that was the way he was treated. The grandfather of the 9/11 movement. Anyway, let me get back on point. This picture turned out to be titled with a URL. That's the name of the picture, which, brings us to a Facebook video on one of these anonymous web pages. Holy shit. So just watch this, folks.
Greetings, world. We are anonymous.
Have a lot of patience right now, okay? This is gonna take a while. Okay, I think you get the idea, right? Now look at this pretentious bullshit now. I could have skipped ahead a few more seconds, actually. Yeah, okay. Move on, please. No, I don't think so. I don't think we're fighting for free speech. And really, if fighting for free speech means that, you're going to fucking make shitty YouTube videos claiming that Alex Jones is Bill Hicks, then fuck your free speech, man. See, I think that in this Western world, this liberal democracy kind of gig that we've got going on for the last 100 to 200 years, depending on where you live. Sorry, I've a bit of indigestion from a steak I ate a few hours ago. We are crippled by these talismanic ideas of free speech and all that. We what good is free speech, really, when the whole world is burning around you and honestly, your speech really isn't all that valuable. Your actions are valuable. Ideas and, you communicating ideas to other people, that can be valuable. But like nine times out of 10, you're going to be wrong. And we should temper our speech. We shouldn't be fighting to have more of it. And that's the general gist that I'm getting off of the internet lately, is that, oh, free speech, I want to protect my free speech. And yet, I say again, the world burns all around you, and all you can think of is your right to talk about it, to describe it from your perspective. That sounds like a whole load of horse manure to me. Bill Cooper was a man that, yes, he was on the radio. He had his own radio show. He wrote a book. Yes. And he communicated to the people of America with his voice. Yeah. But you know what? Bill Cooper also backed up everything that he said with his actions. Okay, he stood up against what he saw as an unlawful tax. He was a man. He actually died being a man. He was being harassed by a local group of thugs who were very much likely sent there by some agents or agent or some kind of organization to bring about the events where the sheriff and his deputies would have to be called out to the man's compound. The guys were posted down the street with drinking beer and, making a fucking scene of themselves. And, just if memory serves, at the bottom of this man's land, just at the entrance of it, he didn't necessarily have the right to tell them to move on, but all the same, he as a man, he went down and he confronted them and he said, look, this isn't proper behavior. Could you please move on? I don't know who it was that called the sheriff. Either he could have or they did. Or then again, this could have all been a setup and the sheriff could have been on his way anyway. He was a man that knew where he stood, that had his center and acted accordingly. This is a quality that I do not see anywhere. I'm sorry, I just don't see it anywhere. I don't see it in my family, I don't see it in my friends. I'm sorely lacking in it myself. I don't see it online. I don't see it on any of these pundits telling us, about what's happening in the world and what we should be doing about it. I don't see any manliness, and I'm sorry if you're a woman listening to this, I don't mean to alienate you, but I think the mandate to stand in your center and be a warrior is much stronger for males. Women have a different and equally important realm to look after, although some may be called upon to be warriors. One thing I've noticed is that women tend to not talk as much. And so I don't really hold them up to the standard of actually having to stand behind what they're saying, because they're not saying it as often. There are shit talkers. This is an actual thing. Not so much a type of person, but a behavior that a man, particularly man, would be guilty of. Shit talking, just talking, and passing judgments and opinions, and doing absolutely fuck all about the things that he's talking about. To me, there's nothing more impotent than a shit talker. And sadly, when it comes to our hero, Bill Cooper, he actually died according to his word. He appeared on Alex Jones's radio program twice in his career. Once in 1998, I believe, and again in 2000 or 2001. I can't place dates very well, I'm sorry. On the first broadcast, the following day, Alex Jones lied about the interview on his own program, saying that Bill just started to spout obscenities and had to be cut off. That is not the fact. It's demonstrably not the fact. If you can actually find a copy of that interview and listen to it for yourself, you'll know that that's not a fact. But Bill is a forgiving man. Rather, he was. God rest his spirit. And he appeared once again on Alex Jones's radio program. And he said something very chilling. Sorry, the indigestion is acting up again. He made a very bold proclamation that he's willing to stand for what he believes, and if it comes to it, and he has to be shot dead on his own front doorstep, then I guess that's the way it's going to have to go. Something to that effect. But he did stipulate on his front doorstep, and in late September, maybe October, can't quite remember, of 2001, when he did have that confrontation with the sheriff and he was shot dead, he was shot dead on his front porch, right in front of his door. This is a quality of man that we are lacking today. So, fuck your free speech. Show me that it's actually worth something. Show me that it's at least worth the hot air that you're expelling from your lungs. I personally am not going to be standing up to the New World Order. I'm not going to lead an insurgency. I'm not going to lead a movement. I'm not even going to stand up in civil disobedience against the government. And that's okay for me because I'm not talking about what these people are doing. I will point it out whenever it comes to a situation where the actions of the government or the deep state or corporations, etc., are having an effect, a negative effect on myself and ordinary people like yourself, for the purpose of assuaging your fears and bringing you back into your personal power. I'm not going to be talking in terms of we need to stop them, we need to have a revolution. And I'm not avoiding that kind of talk because I'm afraid to actually do something. No, I've come to the decision that nothing can be done in those terms, because that is how they want us to fight them. They want us to have all of our attention absorbed into politics and conspiracy. This is why, just as the elections in the United States was coming to a close and things were just about to calm down because the fight was over, Podesta emails, big secret code and emails, oh look, Pizzagate, Comet Pizza and James Alefantis and cheese pizza and hot dogs, and it just keeps on going and going and going. We're absorbed into this to the point where many of us actually can't find anything else to do with ourselves. We have become one-dimensional creatures, and I can say that because I have been there. And this tool that you see on the page here, Alex Jones, I place a lot of the culpability for that period of my life on his shoulders, because he enabled me, he enabled so many others to lose years fixating on something that we don't have control over. You might take what I'm saying as pessimism or cynicism, but that would be because you don't quite understand my message. And if you listen enough, you might just get it. And it might just free you. And it might empower you to take on the New World Order in ways that you haven't quite achieved yet. So, until you're willing to stand behind your words, to hell with your freedom of speech.